Welcome, and how you doing? What does it mean to be a low-level person? I've been pondering on this since I first heard it, and I had to really think about it. Like I said in the past videos, I was thinking that it had to do with materialistic things, but like I found out, I think that's what society wants us to think. So we lose track of the vision and what it really means. And a lot of people do follow behind that and say, well, I don't have this, I don't have that. So yeah, if you don't have this, you don't have that, you ain't nothing. It started when you was early adolescence, man, when you had toys and clothes and shoes and game systems and bicycles and go-karts and all of those things. And then that child would make other kids feel like they won't, like they had to have that in order to be a part of something, in order to be a part of a crew, in order to be a part of a group of folks. And yeah, it started early. So I'm thinking that low-level people have low-level thinking. Picture this. If if Jordan Peterson was Oscar the Grouch, he had the same intellect. And we know, if you know who Jordan Peterson is, Jordan Peterson talked about being down and having issues and vices and things of that nature. But to me, he is a well-spoken person. He's very articulate with his words. I like listening to him when he speaks. When you got an Oscar the Grouch with a Jordan Peterson mentality, he could have nothing, absolutely nothing, and be homeless, live in a trash can. But if you really think about it, that's probably where he chooses to be if you have the intellect of Jordan Peterson. He can still be one of the wisest people in the world and still have nothing. Jesus Christ. So he had nothing and was the savior of humanity and is the savior of humanity. Leo deGrasse Tyson was a homeless man. Well, if he was a homeless man, would he be low level? Would he be a low level person because he has nothing? Because he is living in the streets and he's, just because people are homeless don't mean they eat out of trash cans. They do get, they find places. They're very resourceful to find places to get good, clean meals, decent meals. If not healthy, it's something that's clean and it ain't out the trash. And would that be a low-level person? I don't think so. Because I've had this, like I said, as I've been doing this research, I've been thinking that low level has more to do with your mentality than it does your possessions. And I think that I know for a fact that there are some people that was rich and they would just take time off. They would just go away. These stories of people living in the street for a little while just to see what it was like. They had the intelligence to I need to get away. But the mentality will probably be very different because at any time they could leave. Anytime they can get up and go back to wherever they came from, go back to their shelter and whatever they had at their disposal, whatever luxuries that they had at their disposal, shower, good food, clothes, nice house, transportation, things of that nature, the essentials. But if they didn't and they just would, think about it though. An Oscar the Grouch that's talking like Jordan Peterson, that would make them low level because they don't have anything. A homeless Leo deGrasse Tyson with that same intelligence and that same attitude about life, that would make them a low level person. That would make them not. That would make them still an intelligent homeless person. But then some people might be like, well, if he's homeless, it's not intelligent. Well, we don't know people's plight and we don't know what they're going through mentally. Because some people just really, they have a great mind, but they just in a screwed up place. And there ain't a whole lot that any one of us could do to change it, fix it. And there was a story about a lady I was watching, Soft White Underbelly, and there was a guy, I think he was called the mayor of Skid Row or whatever, and he was telling the story about how when he got up and he was able to help people get out the street, it's a slow process, but he was helping people. And so there was one particular female, they had they got him a job and got him a apartment. They got this apartment, and somebody had got a phone call or something to let him know that the furniture that was in the house was put out by the road. So they threw all the furniture out. So he got word. He went in and he said, hey, what's going on? I said, look, you can't do this because this is some kind of something contractual they had going on. But the person said that they were so used to sleeping on the floor, they didn't even sleep in their bedroom. They just slept on the hard floor in the living room. And it was just something that they had learned to do, so they had to become used to doing. It doesn't make that person low level. It makes that person used to what they're used to, and they're comfortable with that. Now, to throw all the furniture out, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there was some space they could have laid on the floor. But it just goes to show that it was just a habitual thing with that person. Doesn't make them any less intelligent. They just lived a life on the street and they just like, I don't need to sit down on a couch. I ain't never had a couch to sit down on. I always sat down on the hard concrete. So I would say that the more that I'm looking into this low level thing, it really revolves more around your intellect and what you choose to either study, participate in, or how you choose to educate yourself, really. And a lot of people don't want to grow. They don't want to, and they don't want to be enlightened. There's a lot of smart, intelligent people on the street. So I'm convinced now that low level thinking does not necessarily, low level does not, it has nothing to do with possessions. It has nothing to do with materialistic objects, things of that nature. So it's what's your way of thinking, your moral values, and a level of intelligence. All right, folks, that's pretty much it for right now. Try to keep these videos short. Folks, I thank you for tuning in. If you got something out of this, if you watched the whole video, I want you to, I'm going to start doing this. If you watch the whole video, I want you to put a smiley face emoji in the comment section just to let me know that you saw it. Look out for your boy. Well, excuse me, your man, because I ain't no boy. You feel me? But yeah, I hope you guys got something out of it. I will see you guys tomorrow. We're still going to be on the same topic. Peace.